In 2023, at the Riverworks facility in Buffalo, New York, Team Canada and Team USA met in this very division, the Men's Masters, and played one of the most unforgettable hockey games of all time, resulting in a shootout that ultimately gave the gold medal to Team Canada. During that game, capacity, crowd, and attendance was treated as some of the greatest hockey you've ever seen. And if you believe in destiny, here we are in the semifinals. They meet again, Canada in white, USA in blue. Boy, it doesn't get any bigger than this, I'll tell you. Happy to have you with us. Chris Pekanowicz, your play-by-play announcer, as the initial shot goes in on net. And we get a save from Carrick Davis in net for the United States, who was in net in 2023. His counterpart on the other side of the rink in white, Christian Lanton, he was in net in 2023. There are some faces that have changed. But make no mistake about it, these two teams gave us a show, and we expect nothing less here in Pembroke, Bermuda, as Consalvo takes it out for the United States, right into the glove of Lanton. Tests him early, intercepted by Consalvo as Lanton tried to get that out to Vero, and that's sent in down low, but Luckenbach did not quite have the red line, so we'll get our first flooring call of the day. It's a beautiful day here in Pembroke on the island of Bermuda. Temperature a steady 68 degrees Fahrenheit all day. Light winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Can't ask for a more picturesque scene as Satachi and Frank do battle off the draw. Reed comes away with it, just wide of Davis. Hamdani with it. Hamdani's been playing really well for Canada this week, been one of their best players. Satachi, wheeling and dealing. Tries to get over to Hamdani, does. Long shot from the point, easy save by Davis, seen the whole way. Luckenbach picks it up. Luckenbach trying to make a move, wraps it around to Hildreth. Up the near boards. High lob out, trying to hit Luckenbach. D'Amico, the captain, picks it up. Luckenbach gives chase as the United States gets some fresh legs behind the scenes, as Canada gets some fresh legs up front. Sent back in, but that's gonna be a flooring call. Just out of reach of Luckenbach. So the faceoff will come Back down low. Be sure to check out all your scoring effects, stats, live on ISBHF, our website. You can head over to stats.isbhf.com. Be sure to also download the ISBHF app, available on the Google and Apple stores. Ready for the draw here. Taken back by Canada. Rifled into the corner, chipped out by Fairholler, but that goes up over the fence. Fairholler also been one of the better players for Team USA this week, was player of the game last night in their 2-1 victory over Italy. Hasn't really been one standout player for either team in terms of goal scoring, assists, and overall play. Which I tip my cap to the coaching staff. It's really been a true team effort here. Anybody who's played at this level will tell you it takes a team to win games in these tournaments, as that's going to be a flooring call on Christian Lanton. Not to say that somebody can't step up and put the hero cape on today and lead their team to the promised land, the gold medal game. But overall, I mean, both these teams have really, it's been a team effort. Ready for the draw to the right of Lanton. Face off, taken back by Canada. Back behind the net it goes, Luckenbach with it. Chips it back in. U.S. working to get a cycle going over to Shaw. U.S. still working a good cycle here. Canada right on him, not giving him any clearing space. Still working. Chipped up along the near boards. Is Canada able to get it out? They cannot. Now they'll take possession and rifle it in. Long in by Starowiak. Canada hustling to get a change here, as is some of the USA forwards. Chipped up, and we get a whistle here. I'm trying to look at the ref. They're pointing down low, so it might have been ball touched by a high stick, I believe. That was the initial call, so the face-off will come down low to the left of Carrick Davis. Ready for the draw. Lesher with it, wraps it around. Ball gets batted up, picked up by Bragg. Hard battle. Canada with it. Back behind the net. USA player Greg Go lost his footing there. He's back up. Over to the point. Long shot in. Deflected. To the left of Davis. US trying to get it out. They still haven't gotten it out. 6 players over there doing battle. A lot of good clean stick work, good clean hockey. Finally comes to the near boards. Picked up by Go, rattles it in. No flooring. Was chipped off the stick of Dyke. And the US able to rattle it up towards the near boards. Picked back up, sent it down low, shot, save, Lanton. Big one early. The stick of John Stewart. Uncharacteristic turnover by Team Canada there. But credit to John Stewart having the awareness to just throw that in on Lanton. Always a good idea to test goaltenders early. Captain Joey D'Amico. Centers up. Shot. Oh, that didn't miss by much. Curve just wide of the net by Sawyer. Hildreth. Trying to get something in down low. Sends it all the way into the near corner. Sawyer has it. Rattles it around. Back up. Hildreth pinch. The captain. Shot. Sings wide. Reed for Canada there. Tries to chip it back, but it's poked out. And Stewart able to make a nice keep there at the point. Shot. Miss hit by Sawyer. Carter with it for the US. Carter chasing it back down. Stewart goes off for the United States. Turn around. Back behind the net. Pinch by Canada. US with some sustained zone time. Got to be some tired legs out there for Canada. They got to get a clear here over to Vero. Vero has it batted in by Hildreth. Outstanding hand-eye coordination. That's why he's an ISBHF Hall of Famer. Class of 2024. Canada now able to get a full completed change here. In deep. Consalvo working for the U.S. on defense. Wraparound attempt. Big save by Davis, matching Lanton. That was a difficult backhander shot right into the solar plexus. So Lanton and Davis both looking sharp early. I'll tell you, as a goaltender myself, folks, those backhander shots really tough to reach. Some of the toughest shots for netminders. Satachi gonna take the draw for Canada. John Frank taking it for the United States. Hayne in there for the U.S. Hayne comes away with it, trying to chip it out. It's batted away by Shannon for Canada. Across to Carberry, back to Fairheller. Fairheller, high lob out, trying to hit Hayne. And we're gonna get a hand pass here in the neutral zone. As U.S. gets a line change here. With 6:28 remaining, winner will play for gold medal. Loser of this game will have a chance to compete for the bronze. USA coach George Tarantino and Canadian coach Gary Crossman doing their best to execute the strategy, get the players follow the game plan. As we have good clean hockey now here down below me. That's gonna go in all the way on Lanton. Lanton looking to play it. Then chips it up along the boards, intercepted by Carberry. Good read on the play by Carberry. Morehouse comes in, fresh off the bench. Morehouse, nowhere to go with it. Force wide, off the fence. Back down low, over to Fairheller. Rattled around the Luckenbach, all the way out. Is that gonna be a flooring? It will. Come all the way back down. Morehouse ready to take the draw with Dunford, taking it for the United States. Face off, taken back by Morehouse. Over to Dyke. U.S. aggressive. Hits a foot. Marchuk shot. Good glove save by Davis. Batted it down. Another backhander. Fairheller now with it. Fairheller gains the line. Well, referee called that a flooring. Hard to tell from my vantage point. I thought he had the line, but obviously I'm not down there on the floor. The referee's in better position than I am. So the U.S. comes back out. Good crowd in attendance here. Seems to be split evenly between the United States and Canada. Morehouse and Dunford again. Morehouse got McHugh behind them with Dyke at the point. McHugh picks it up. Got Fairheller on him. Fairheller giving McHugh the business. McHugh giving Fairheller the business. Now Morehouse comes away with it. Morehouse circling, looking for a feed. In on Davis. Rattled around, Luckenbach there. Redirected on net. Never made it through. Shot blocked. Good job by Shaw getting the block there on Morehouse. Morehouse controls it. Centering attempt is intercepted by the U.S. They do get it out of the zone. They're going to want to get some fresh legs out here. Luckenbach giving chase. Marchuk with it. McHugh at the blue line waiting. Sticked into the corner by Davis. Marchuk with it. Sends it over to Duty. Duty been one of Canada's better players this week. Really impressed with his game. Wild backhands it in over to Fewer. Fewer, another one of the players that stood out to me this week for Team Canada. Greg Go battling with Duty. Good hard hockey. Referees right there. Players trying to get it out. They chip it out up to Benedict. Benedict got some wheels. Being chased by D'Amico. D'Amico has a nice slap poke check there. Chips it back up along the far boards. Canada backs up. It's assistant captain Wild over to D'Amico. Centering effort up to Duty. Backed in by Go. Deep into the Canadian zone. 3:58 remaining. D'Amico has it out. White Knight there, holding the red line. White Knight forces him to dump it in. Deep ball misplayed. Shot save. Davis still loose. Kick to the side by Go. That took a weird hop off the fence. Hey, credit to Carrick Davis having his head in the game there, and also to the U.S. defender able to get away. U.S. in down low shot. Oh, what a stop, Blanton! Matching Davis, save for save. My goodness, as Canada suffers almost the same fate the U.S. just did with a weird bounce. Oh, Davis and Lanton picking up right where they left off from 2023. Ready for the draw, face off. One back by Canada, rattled all the way around, pinched by Stewart. Keeps it in. Sent back in deep. U.S. in on the forecheck, have two players there. Soroviak with it. Soroviak didn't play a lot in yesterday's game. I don't know if he's battling an injury or not. I only counted 3 shifts by Soroviak in yesterday's game. Shot, long shot, made it all the way through to Lanton through a screen. Oh, good wrister by Hildreth. But a good save by Lanton through traffic. Sent in back behind the net. USA digging hard. Centering attempt, doesn't make it in there. Soroviak rifles that one up off the fence and then out of play. So that should be down low as both teams look to make a change here with 2:59 remaining. Lanton and Davis, the story of this game thus far, matching each other save for save. Referee providing instructions for the draw. Face off, kick forward by the Americans, but picked up by Canada. To the far boards, up to the center zone. Canada looking to either dump it in or try and make a pass here along the blue line, but they got nowhere to go. The Americans are just very active on their forecheck here. Carberry doing good work. There's another player that stood out to me is John Carberry. He was really good in 2023, but I feel like he's played even better here in 2025 as Canada takes control. Satachi with it. Satachi wheeling and dealing. Shot, easy save for Davis. Centering over to Satachi. Shot, save, Davis! Oh, got a piece of it with the glove. What a move by Satachi. Shot blocked. Shot, score! Reed gets his own rebound. Consalvo lost track of it and then put it in top shelf. Right from the scoring area, Canada takes the 1-0 lead. Outstanding individual effort, nothing Davis could do. So now Canada with the momentum, 2:12 left in the first period. Let you know who they give the assist to as soon as they announce the goal. So assisted by Satachi and Thiessen. Reed's goal assisted by Satachi and Thiessen. As Davis made that save, kept the ball trapped under his arm. Morehouse taking it for Canada, Dunford for the U.S. Face off, taken by the U.S. Ball still loose, picked up by Shaw, trying to bat it out. Pass Wild, Wild bodying him off the play. Taken by Canada, back into the U.S. zone. Shot by McHugh, blocked by Fairheller, picked up by Luckenbach. Luckenbach gains the zone. Cross floor pass. White Knight centering. Nobody there. Morehouse has it, drops it off, wrist shot. Easily swallowed up by Davis with 1:30 remaining. So good back and forth action here. Canada leading 1-0. Goal by Reed. Ready for the draw. Duty's going to take it for Canada versus go for the U.S. U.S. comes away with it. Duty chases after. Duty wins that battle. Duty wheeling and dealing down deep. Comes in. Davis sticks it to the near boards just below me. Hard battle down low. Fewer with it. He's got Lesher on him, Fewer trying to wrap it around, look for somebody to feed it to, can't. Still loose, ping-ponging around. Now comes again directly below me, Benedict with it. Benedict, whoop, misplayed it all alone. Bragg, shot, save! Oh, what a stop, Davis on Bragg. Bailing his team out, less than a minute to go. Shot, sticked aside by Davis, off the stick of Shannon. Hey, credit to Bragg, though, on Canada there. Made a nice, real nifty move, just got robbed by Davis. "35 seconds left. John Stewart with it, waiting for something to happen here. All right, U.S. finished a late line change here. Looking for Lesher, maybe. Nope, nobody there. Lobbed out, trying to hit Gray. Gray chips it forward. Hildreth in on the forecheck as well. Hildreth has it, shot. Sticked aside by Land, less than 10 remaining. U.S. with it, got to get something out in front here. Over to Hildreth, shot, turnaround block, back to the point. Haynes, shot, oh, whistle's wide. Backhander still loose, shot, and the buzzer blows. Oh my goodness, the USA runs out of time there with 5 opportunities. That shot from Haynes couldn't have missed by more than an inch. Over the crossbar, came back out in front. Lanton sprawled out, made 2 saves. I believe a Canadian defender managed to get a leg on it as well. Mad scramble. Hey, credit to Canada there. Dodging a bullet. Outstanding first period. We'll see you back here in 5 for start of the second period. Canada 1-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for second period action. Canada, USA. Canada currently lead by the score.
We're not drinking and dry now.
Back for start of the second period here. Canada leading the United States 1-0. Winner advances to the gold medal game. This is a rematch of the gold medal game from 2023 at the Buffalo Riverworks facility in Buffalo, New York. Hildreth sent it up, but it was intercepted by Canada. Rifled back in, stopped by Davis, rattles it around. Trapani there. Back to the point, over to Crossman. Long shot, high over the crossbar, shot. Saved by Davis as the net gets dislodged. Ready for the draw to the right of Davis. And we get a whistle here for a face-off violation. Captain Andrew Hildreth will step up to take the draw. One back by Canada. Long shot, high over the crossbar. Loose ball back behind the net. Fair picks it up. Fair trying to get some separation. Sends it in back behind over to Vero. Vero looking for some place to go with it. Hildreth there, and that's going to roll all the way out of the zone as a couple of USA players go off for a change. Centering attempt. Intercepted by the U.S. Look at the point here. Shot, whistles wide, past Lanton. He drops it off for Crossman. Sent up towards the far boards. Chipped up over to Fair. Fair. Save, Davis. Fair able to get a step there, it looked like, on Dunford. Able to come in, but really didn't have much to shoot at there, as Davis was already down in the butterfly. Dunford preventing him from going backhand onto forehand. Face-off one back by the Americans. Back behind the net. Trying to carry it out. Chipped out of the zone. Wild gets it. Advances it up over to Sitachi. Stick lifted by Carberry. Sitachi throws a backhander behind the net. Fairheller trying to chip it out. Blocked. Fairheller trying to get out of the zone, can't. Hamdani's there. Luckenbach trying to pick control. Drops it off. Over to Dunford. Dunford gonna rifle that one all the way around for Shaw. Shaw, no flooring as it was redirected by Shaw. Lanton comes out, picks it back to D'Amico. Centering effort, redirected. And no flooring. Carberry there, over to White Knight. White Knight trying to get it up off the boards, unsuccessful. Chipped up in front, Hamdani, shot, oh, didn't miss by much. Threw a nice quick backhander at the net. Blocker side. Canadian centering attempt over to Wild, shot, save, Davis! A big one again! Luckenbach with it. Oh, defensive breakdown by the United States, getting bailed out by Davis, could have proved costly. Chip forward, Soroviak there. No flooring. And Canada. Shot. Score to make it 2-0. I believe that one went in short side. And I think it was Morehouse that got it. It was Matt Morehouse, number 11. Goes short side on Davis. Quick, low, hard wrist shot. Just beat him clean. It just happens. You've heard me say it a few times this tournament, right? You just can't save them all. These are world-class shooters. And you give them a little bit of space. Sometimes they just pick a spot. There's nothing Davis could have done differently. So give credit to Morehouse.
Canada goal scored by number
Chipped in.
Morehouse, assisted by 71, Marchuk, and 44, Chris Sorokian.
So assisted by Marchuk and Soroviak. And 9:18 remaining. Canada now up 2-0. But you've heard me say this many times, right? Worst lead in sports, 2-goal lead in hockey. So you know Canada's not going to sit on this. We get a face-off violation. Duty ready for the draw for Team Canada. And we get that one blown dead for another face-off violation. Greg Go taking the draw for the United States. Face-off one back by Canada, but then taken by Duty. Down low. He's got Go on him. Go and Duty battling hard. Canada still wheeling, dealing down low into the near corner. Back to the point, over to Soroviak. Long shot, intentionally wide. Canada's got a lane to the net here. Shot, pad save Davis. Sticked into the corner. Sent back behind the net. U.S. looking a little out of sorts on this shift. I think there's some confusion on who's going to go for that ball. U.S. can't get it out. Sustained pressure by Canada. This is the long change period. U.S. got to be careful here. Now they get it out. See if they can complete the full change. Bragg with it. Bragg. Down low over to Fair. Saved by Davis. All the way up to the near boards. Chip back in. Good keep by Crossman at the point. Over to Reed. Reed has it. Stewart on Reed. Still battling. La Fortune. Sent it up to Fair. Fair looking to something that happened. Shot. Good save by Davis again. Managed to get a pad on that. Batted back in by Crossman. Over to Fair. Shot. Oh, what a save. Davis got the waffle on that one. That's going to be a flooring call. Davis, a couple of big ones here. Keeping the U.S. in this game. 7:44 remaining. U.S. without their leading scorer, Donnie Kleckner. It ended up, he didn't play yesterday either as well. He had unfortunately suffered, I believe, an injury to his hand. Not sure if it's broken, but he's not even suited up for this game and was seen wearing a cast yesterday, for those wondering you about Donnie Kleckner. Long shot from the point, deflected, never made it through. U.S. trying to get out of zone, they do. Comes Gray using his wheel, bumps into the ref. Satachi there. Working him off the play. Stewart shot into the glove of Lanton. It's a good shot. Lanton making the saves look easy. Castor gonna take the draw against Satachi. One back by Castor over to Hildreth. Long shot, blocked. Goes all the way back into the U.S. zone. Carberry there with it. Carberry battling hard. Canada comes away with it. Cross floor pass over to Hamdani. Hamdani looking to feed it. And down low into the feet of a U.S. defender. Oh, turnover by the U.S. shot. Save Davis. Went off of his shoulder and then off the boards, and now he gets his glove on it. As U.S. and Canadian player get tangled up there and separated by the referees with 7:01 remaining here in the second period. Good game, 2-0 Canada. Morehouse gonna take the draw for Canada. Looks like Castor's gonna take it for the U.S. One by Castor, back to Carberry. Carberry has it intercepted, but taken by Fairheller. Now back to Carberry. Carberry looking to get a set outlet play going here. Carberry, high lob out. This is what the United States like to do. Then chip it in deep, get the forecheck going. D'Amico with it, rattled it around. Hard for Morehouse, pinched in, kept in, still. Oh, now Canada manages to get it out, but Carberry, good stick lift on the play. U.S. Haynes got it. Hayne. And down deep. Hayne working it down low. Hayne wheeling and dealing. Chips it up to Fairheller. Fairheller lost it. Marchuk has it now. Intercepted. U.S. trying to get some momentum here. Oh, misplayed. Opportunity for the U.S. there, but just rolled off the stick of Frank. Picked up by Fewer. Taken out by Bragg. Checked away, shot, blocked. Back to the point. Long shot, wide. Bragg behind the net. And net is dislodged as Carrick Davis had went to slide to make that save. So unfortunate break for Canada to get a whistle there, 5:50 remaining. Look like USA head coach George Tarantino asking for some sort of explanation here from one of the officials. And US getting a late line change here, so looks like Dunford's going to take the draw against Duty. Face off one back by the Americans. Up along the boards. Canada manages to steal it and gain control. Back behind the net, over to Duty. Wraparound attempt, stuffed by Davis. He's just gonna, get a glove on that. Settle for another whistle here. 5:34 remaining in the second period. Referee ready for the draw. One back by the U.S. White Knight has it. White Knight, a Buffalo, New York police captain. Say hi to his family watching back home. As Canada now comes in. Shannon with a shot, save Davis. No, U.S. got to get that cleaned up, right? Can't let people be walking in all alone on your netminder there. White Knight with it. Back behind the net. Up to Stewart, cross floor pass. White Knight sends it in over to Shaw. Shaw trying to battle it up to White Knight. Back to Shaw, rolls off of his stick through his legs. Less than 5 remaining. Back to Thiessen. Thiessen has it. Shaw there, applying the forecheck over to Thiessen. Forces a turnover. Up, overran by Luckenbach, and that's going to be a flooring. Well, looking back, very frustrated with himself overrunning that. Might have had an opportunity to corral that and move the ball more towards center, maybe get a scoring chance in on Lanton, but unsuccessful in his efforts. Still a lot of hockey left. Canada and the USA know this. This game's not over. A lot of talent on both these teams. Go gonna take the draw against Duty. Face off, one back by the Americans. Shot! One off of a foot. Net gets completely dislodged as Gray went to go around the net. Looked like his stick just caught the pipe there. So Canada now able to get fresh legs out.
Let's go, Blue! In the net. Let's go, boys. You got this right now. Come on, USA!
Ready for the draw. Go taking it again for the Americans. Face off, won by Sean Fair for Canada. Over to Dyke. Fair chips it up. Potential 3-on-1 developing now for Canada. In alone. Pass through the feet of La Fortune. Just behind him. Back to the point. Long shot in on Crossman. Or by Crossman. Shot, save Davis. Rebound effort. Shot, score right off of Davis. He didn't know where the rebound was. And Canada makes it 3-0. Not sure who got that goal. But Davis made a couple of saves there, and ball just squirted out in front, and Canadian player banked it right in off of Davis. I mean, that play started with Dyke. In my opinion, he's arguably been Canada's best defenseman this week. Been very fundamentally sound defensively and has been very crisp on his outlet passes. So Fair gets the goal. So Vero gets the assist, and I think La Fortune as well. I'll check here in a second. Face off right below me. Castor taking it for the Americans. Hamdani here right below me for Canada. Shot! Save Lanton. Dangerous rebound, but Canada able to clear it out. Carberry giving chase to Hamdani. Canada now back in the US zone. Poke checked away by Davis. Back to the point, over to Crossman. Off his backhand. Crossman corrals it up. Long shot in, batted down. US now trying to lob it out. Get a forecheck going. That's going to be a flooring. Nope, no flooring. Waved off. Dyke there. Has Sawyer on him. Dyke using his body. Keeps Sawyer off of him. White Knight there. Using his speed. Centering attempt. Poke checked away by the Americans. Pass too hot to handle. Canada in down low. Back to the point. Over to Wild. Two Americans there, back to Wild, sent in down low, poke check, back to D'Amico. D'Amico with it. The captain looking to wheel and deal from the point, sends it in to the near corner, centering attempt, batted away by the Americans, lobbed out of the zone. D'Amico giving chase. US able to get a change here. Marchuk hits duty in stride. Poke checked away. Good read on the play by John Stewart. Trapani with it. Trapani, errant pass, picked up by Duty. Centering, blocked. White Knight chips it up to Trapani. Duty with it. Fewer. Fewer has a lane. Save Davis, and Duty puts that in the back of the net to make it 4-0 Canada. No, just a defensive breakdown for the United States there, and you just can't have that against great teams, right? Nothing Davis could do. US now finding themselves at the foot of a mountain, down 4-0 against the defending champs, Team Canada. But credit to Canada. I mean, when the ball's bouncing their way, they're putting it in the back of the net. That's why they're defending champs. US wins the draw forward, but unable to pick it up. Now potential numbers again for Canada. Duty with it, shot. So Duty gets the goal. Hildreth, the captain, back to Trapani. Stewart up to Trapani, chipped out. Shot, ooh, difficult. Waffle save Lanton off the stick of Frank. High lob out. Stewart goes and gives chase. Up to Hildreth, back to Stewart. Oh, turnover! Uncharacteristic, save Davis, poke checked it away. Canada once again in the US zone. Long shot in, stick the side by Davis. Minute 43 remaining, and he gets the whistle. US getting some fresh legs out now. Face off, finally taken back by Canada. Fairheller chops it up over to Dunford. Centering attempt kept in by Canada. Nope, that was out. So close. Crossman was there. A minute 31 remaining.
Let's go, Blue. Come on, boys.
Face off in the neutral zone here. Canada's side. Fair will take it for Canada. Sent in deep on Davis. And he's just going to hold that for a whistle as he had La Fortune bearing down on him. Face off, not taken by either team. Finally, Canada manages to scooch it into the corner. Fairheller there for America. Canada picks it up. Trying to wheel and deal in front. America manages to stick check it away. Up to Fairheller. Wrist shot blocked. Good job by Dyke on the block there. Shaw. Dunford giving chase. Dunford sends it back down low. Shaw there. Shaw battling hard with Crossman. Still loose. Referee right there. Still loose. Crossman has it pinned. Not getting a whistle. The referee says, centering cover, White Knight shot loose, shot score! Americans get one back. Hey, great heads-up play by Jason White Knight. Reading that, he knew that was Canada's only outlet. And Luckenbach gets one. White Knight really played well this week. I said it earlier in the first period. I've been very impressed with his play. And that's why he's just been reading the play well all week for the United States. And credit to Luckenbach, the goal scorer, right? I mean, listen, you got to start somewhere. I mean, let's not have any delusions if you're a fan of the United States here, right? I mean, you're playing the defending champs. You're down 4-0. This is certainly a monumental task, but you got to start somewhere. So credit to them. They didn't put their heads down. They kept playing hard, kept running hard, and they got one back. You know, conversely for Canada, right? Don't sit on the lead. This is a very talented American team. Anything could happen in these games, as that's going to be a flooring call, as they were trying to hit Hain, getting it in deep, but Hain, unfortunately, not able to prevent the flooring, so it'll come back down into the American zone. .30 seconds left on the clock. Back deep, and Canada able to keep it in over to D'Amico. Clapped up by Hain. Hain takes control of it. Hain looking for some help. Hain walking in towards center. Wrist shot. Ooh, caught Lanton by surprise, but Lanton did get a piece of it with his glove. US able to keep it in. No, it's out of the zone. 8 seconds left. Mamdani just sends it in, so that'll do it. All right, 5-minute break between periods here. We'll see you back for the start of the third. Canada in control of this one, 4-1 over America. Just about ready for start of the third period action here. Due to the sun, the teams are going to stay on the same sides they were for the second period. So it will be a long change, and then they will pause the game around the halfway point and switch sides because there's definitely an issue with the sun in the goaltender's eyes. As we are back now, as La Fortune makes a steal on a lone shot over the crossbar. Davis came out, cut down the angle. Good read on the play by La Fortune. Fair with it. Digging hard. He's got Greg Go draped all over him. Now he gets a little bit of separation, tries to get centering attempt. It's not there. Chipped up out of the zone. U.S. trying to get it down deep. They do. Benedict. Crossman. Hildreth, good pinch. Over to Gray, shot, blocked by La Fortune. Fair has it, Fair chips it out. Hildreth rifles it across. Gray trying to make a move was stymied. Hildreth unable to read that. Hamdani with it, soft pass. Player gets tripped up, we're gonna get a call. That's gonna be on Greg Go. Got his stick between the Canadian player's legs. Can't see who it is, currently down in some discomfort. Appears to be okay now. So Canada goes on the power play. So that was number 92, Daniel Satachi for Canada that took that spill. Okay. For the United States, absolute must kill for Canada. Chance to regain that 4-goal lead and put the U.S. back at the base of the mountain here that they'll need to climb. Shot, pad save, Davis. Wild sends it in down low. U.S. should be able to get it clear here. No, they can't. Oh, good stick lift by the captain, D'Amico. Over to Hamdani. Back to D'Amico, looking for a pass. Back to the point to Wild, Hamdani. U.S. clogging the shooting lanes, blocked. Went wide of the net. Back to Wild, long shot, pad save. U.S. trying to get it out. They can't. Kept in by Canada. Good keep by Hamdani. Drops it off to Wild. Centering attempt over to D'Amico, trickles in on Davis, and he gets a glove on it. Good ball movement there, nice and crisp by Team Canada. See who Canada puts out for this power play here. With 10:07 left in the final period. Again, the winner will advance to the gold medal game, be guaranteed to go home with some hardware, no less than silver. Loser will play for bronze. Face off one back directly on Davis. He just gets another glove on it. Face off won by the Americans into the far corner. Might be able to get a clear here. High lob, kept in by Dyke. Sent cross floor. Canada now with possession in the U.S. zone. U.S. in the box on the penalty kill. Dyke at the point, wrist shot, deflected, on net. That was a good positional save by Davis, even off the deflection. U.S. battling, Carberry there with it. Shaw digging in deep, Shaw comes away with it. Shaw trying to get it out of the zone, he does. Picked up by La Fortune. Shaw retreats back. Dyke with it, and that's going to be a flooring as he was unable to connect with Daniel Viro. .920 remaining. U.S. down 4-1. Canada looking sharp. They've capitalized on their opportunities. Face off. Finally picked up by Canada. Dyke comes away with it. Canada will look to gain the zone here. Dyke, they do gain the zone. Over to Thiessen, centering attempt. Blocked by the United States. They're able to get the clear. A good play there by the captain, Andrew Hildreth. And the U.S. has successfully killed the penalty as Go comes out of the box. And we get a whistle here as the net became dislodged. Okay. So face off outside the zone. I think that was number 4, Joey Trapani, inadvertently dislodged that net. Frank and Satachi taking the draws respectively for the U.S. and Canada. Thiessen has it. High lob out over to Hildreth, battling a hamstring injury as the captain. High chop out, trying to get it up into the Canadian zone. They do. Stewart pinches, can't keep it in. Taken by Hildreth. Long cross floor pass. Hain chips it up. Canada regains it. Across to Hamdani. He's got Stewart there defending. Shot, whistles wide. That was off the stick of Reed. Canada behind the net, looking for a centering attempt. And Davis just corrals that up, takes the whistle with 8:17 remaining. And looks like both teams going to get wholesale line changes here as the sun begins to set in the beautiful island of Bermuda here in Pembroke. I want to give thanks again to the Bermuda host organizing committee. They've done a fantastic job welcoming all these teams as well as the ISBHF family. All the fans that attend us, nothing but good things to say. Back to the action we go. Luckenbach. U.S. forced to retreat back in their zone. White Knight with it. White Knight rattles it around. Up to Luckenbach. Should have some room to carry this. Tries to get it into the zone. They can't. Onto the stick of White Knight. Back up. Rifled back in down deep. Lanton comes to play it. Chips it up to Soroviak. Battling with Dunford. Dunford battling. Centers it. Nobody there. Lesher trying to chip it in. He can't. Lesher still battling. Now gets it in deep over to Dunford. Dunford couldn't make a play on the ball. Morehouse rattles it around. Picked up by McHugh. Luckenbach hustles back to negate the 2-on-1. Good play by White Knight. Intercepted. Sent in deep. U.S. gains his own. Shaw shot. Blocked by Wild into the far corner. Canada picks it up. Wild has it. Over to D'Amico. Centers all the way up to Bragg. Bragg looking to gain the zone. Chips it in. Running with Go. Bragg down low. Doing battle. Bragg trying to circle it out in front. Not there. Over to Wild. Sent into the far corner. Over to Duty. Sent in back down deep. Fairheller there giving chase. Canadian player loses their footing. Mass of bodies down there towards the near corner. In on Davis, and he's just going to hold that for a whistle. With 6:32 remaining, Canada up by 3. Fair will take the draw for the United States. Dunford, or pardon me, for Canada. Dunford for the United States. And Dunford is sent out. Won by the United States. Rattled around. Centering attempt. Intercepted by D'Amico. Good read on the play. Drops it off. Shot. Chest protector saved by Davis. Up along the boards. And then batted out. That should be a flooring. It is. With 6:15 remaining. Face off, taken back by the Canadians. D'Amico with it. Wrist shot, steered into the corner by Davis. Dunford has it hemmed in. Referee says you're not getting a whistle. Got to move it. Got to move it. And they're just going to hold it now at the 6-minute mark so the teams can switch sides. And the face-off will come back out into the neutrals, or pardon me, center floor. Okay, switch is complete. Back to the action. Canada takes the draw, gains the U.S. zone. Vero with it, drops it off. But misplayed, Frank has it. Frank looking for an outlet, cross floor. Hits Trapani, pulls up, long shot. And Lanton didn't know where that was. Turns out it was underneath his pad. Nice hard long shot by Trapani. But tough to beat netminders like Christian Lanton from that distance. Go to take the draw for the United States, one back by Satachi. Stewart pinches, shot, almost a redirect by Hain. Go chops it up onto the top of the mesh netting above the player's bench with 5:28 remaining in the third period. 4-1 Canada. Ready for the draw, one back by Canada. Fire it in deep on Davis, steered side. Stewart picks it up, drops it off for Hain. Hain back around the net, over to Luckenbach. Trying to gain the Canadian zone, he does. Bodied off the play by Crossman, rattled around the dike. Outlet pass, up. Breakdown in all alone, Satachi, shot, passes it over the crossbar. Hamdani can't believe it. Hamdani had an open net, shot it over the crossbar. It's a great play by Satachi. I would have put this one on ice. Centering attempt. Go didn't know where it was. U.S. potential numbers now. Trying to chip it forward, they can't. Broken up by Canada, intercepted. Taken by Morehouse in the U.S. zone. Morehouse being defended by White Knight. Up to Luckenbach. Luckenbach trying to get out of the zone. Well, he gets it out of the U.S. zone over to White Knight. White Knight waiting for the U.S. to complete a line change. Long, high lob. And that's going to be a flooring call. Oh, White Knight frustrated with himself there. That's the right idea. 4:11 remaining. That's how far Canada's away from a chance to repeat. Ready for the draw. One back by Canada. Far boards. Back to the point, fakes a shot, blocked. Goes in down low, Fairheller there with Castor. Castor comes away with it, chips it up to White Knight. White Knight carrying it. Cross floor pass, U.S. looking to gain the zone, they do. Over to Shaw, deflected, over to Castor. White Knight down to Castor. Back to the point, over to White Knight. He's got to look at the net here. Bodies in front, shot, save, rebound, still loose, still loose. 2 whacks at it for the Americans. Couldn't get it past Lanton. White Knight there. Dunford keeps it in at the point. Empty net for the United States. 6 runners to 5. Shot, turnaround wide. Net gets dislodged as Lanton falls back into it. Plays blown dead, 3:21 remaining. Davis out of the net. Head coach George Tarantino pulling Davis with 3:30 remaining in the final period, down 3 goals. Timeout, America.
Let's go, USA! Let's go, boys!
Okay, timeout's over. Empty net for the Americans. Down 4-1. 3:21 remaining. Face-off won by the Americans, but chipped up out of the zone by Canada. The U.S. will have to reset to try and regain the zone. Over to the captain, Hildreth. Dunford with it. Rifled in by Hain. Lanton stopped it. Fairheller comes in. Ends up on the stick of Bragg. Taken by Hildreth. Back to the point. Over to Hain. Hard shot. Save. Rebound. Still loose. And Lanton's able to smother it up. Good low hard shot by Hain, generating a rebound there. Lanton in perfect position. Canada getting a wholesale change here. U.S. keeping the same people out. Face-off taken back by Canada, rattled all the way around. Hildreth able to keep it in. All the way down low, shot, save, Lanton! Rolled through the stick, a crossman right onto a U.S. player's stick. Big one for Lanton, over to Hain. Cross floor, over to Frank, down low. Intercepted by Canada. U.S. trying to pinch and keep this in, they do. Over to Hildreth, wrist shot blocked. Wrist shot, score! Andrew Hildreth gets one. Top shelf, Lanton never saw it. Over his glove side, 2:16 remaining. It's 4-2 Canada. Well, you can't fault Lanton on that one. That's just a great shot from a Hall of Famer there. Hildreth took the initial shot. It was blocked. He fought forward. Took the ball right into a good shooting position and just went top shelf through a screen. Make it 4-2. Davis back in net. assisted by Luckenbach and Dunford. So face-off coming all the way into the U.S. zone after the flooring. Obviously an important draw here for the U.S. Try and gain possession so they can get the Canadian zone and get Davis out of the net to get the extra runner again. Face-off taken by the Americans. We'll keep an eye on Davis. They're calling for Davis now, so Davis comes out over to Hildreth. U.S. up to Hain. Hain rifles it in deep on Lanton. Dunford giving chase, back behind the net. U.S. trying to keep it in the zone. They do. Carberry there. Carberry lost his stick. Carberry picks it up, back behind the net. To the point, over to Hildreth. Back to Hain. Shot! Whistles just wide. That didn't miss by much. USA player fans on it. Hain giving chase. Back up to Hildreth. Minute 29 remaining. U.S. looking to gain the zone. They do. Over to Carberry. Trying to get a centering attempt. Good defensive play by Reed. And they're going to call a penalty here. U.S. might want to let Canada touch this. Hain shot blocked. U.S. on Lanton, blocked. U.S. might want to let Canada touch this. It's a delayed penalty on Canada. That's going to go all the way. Haynes has got to go deep and get this. He's going to let Canada touch it. Hain. Canada smart here. They're not touching it. Over to Luckenbach. Still a delayed penalty. Over to D'Amico. D'Amico still hasn't touched it. Still hasn't touched it. 30 seconds left. Now Canada touches it, so it'll be a 6-on-4. Well, smart play by Canada there, not touching that ball. They ate up a good 30 seconds. All right, well, it's 4-2. I mean, it's not impossible. It's a tall task for the United States, but you know, Canada certainly didn't want to be down here 6-on-4. Huge draw. One back by America to the point. Over to Haynes. Shot blocked. Canada able to get the clear in the empty net. And that'll do it. 22 seconds left. Fewer gets the empty net goal. As the Canadian fans in attendance celebrate, Davis heads back in the net. Credit to Canada, that was a great block. And then Fewer put that center cut into the empty net. Canada now just chips it in. White Knight back. Back over to White Knight. Looking to gain the zone. Long wrist shot in on Lanton. Easily steered aside. Centering attempt. Still loose, still loose. 2 seconds left, and that'll do it. Canada will have a chance to repeat. Congratulations, they will go home with no less than silver. Your final 5-2. It's a valiant effort by the United States, but Canada able to capitalize on their chances. Disappointment for the boys in blue, and for the boys in white, they will face the winner of Canada-Saskatchewan versus Portugal, which will be the last game of the night. Great game. Appreciate you tuning in. Outstanding effort on both sides. And they will line up for Player of the Game ceremonies. That'll do it for me. I'll be back here to call Bermuda and Great Britain next. 6 p.m. local time. We'll see you then, folks. Your final, Canada 5, United States 2.
Gentlemen, it's time for the Player of the Game ceremony. Player of the Game ceremony or presentation will be done by President of the ISBHF, Elio Peccuso. From Canada, 23, Matthew Fewer. With a bottle of Gosling's Black Seal rum. Little man, you leave that rum. And from the United States, number 14, Brian Dunford. Ladies and gentlemen, your players of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask if you can to please stand, remove your caps, and turn your attention to the northern end of the ring as we play the national anthem of Canada.